Okay, so Jin's RUNSEOKJIN EP Tour's Japan leg is officially kicking off today on July 5th in Chiba. And I'm gotta say, I'm super jealous and happy for those who are attending in person because I genuinely loved his Goyang concert even though I just streamed it online. As you know, I already shared 7 key highlights from his concert in earlier video, but now it's time for the full version, the complete song by song, time-based review I've been waiting to share, and because I wanted to relive every moment, because I had so much fun with it. Now, this includes spoilers, but as I said in my previous video, I think Jin's tour will hit differently every single concert, even when you already know, what's coming. Honestly, I would love to follow this tour from city to city, given the nature of this tour. By the way, the video I made last time was unfortunately blocked on YouTube. It was titled 7 Reasons BTS Jin Solo Concert is a Game Changer. I suspect it might have been because of the GIF clips included, but still, I didn't upload the full concert. It was just a review video, so it's hard to understand why it was taken down, especially when the intent was to share a thoughtful commentary. And, I put a lot of heart and effort into making the video, so it's really disappointing. And I thought the video could actually, help promote Jin's tour because it highlighted what made the concert so special and made more fans interested in attending future shows. But what hurts the most is that all the hundreds of comments that you guys have left, that ARMY's left, are now gone and cannot be seen anymore. So, if you would like to help me get the previous video reinstated, I'd like to kindly ask you to send an email on my behalf. I have included an email template and a relevant address in the video description, so please look into it if you are interested and if you'd like to support. But anyhow, it's time for the full review. So here we go, from the very beginning. The show opened with a, the human touch, actually. The camera panned across the crowd before anything else. Like, it made you feel like you were part of something personal, not just spectacle. And then, of course, Jin stepped onto the stage, and then he raised one hand and shouted the now iconic word, 도전, challenge. It was a super simple entrance, but in true Jin fashion, that he wanted this way, right? And it carried weight, humor, and intention. So the concert started at around 7 p.m. this way. And at 7:05 p.m., the first song, Running Wild, began. And from the first note, the concert launched with full energy. Like, Jin was bouncing around the stage like a spark, and he immediately set like a rock festival tone. And I'm gonna include like what fans typed in the like live chat later on, but here during Running Wild, I took notes, and fans were saying he looks insanely good. 겁나 잘생김. He's literally hopping like a bunny. 콩콩 뛰는 거 귀여워요. This arrangement is so good, and his tone is crazy. And I fully agree with that. The live band came in pretty hard, and Jin's vocals cut through with grit and clarity. It was strong, loud, and a fun opener. I love this track. And then 7:07, I'll Be There. That was the second track, right? And the vibe continued on, still powerful, and his ad-libs stood out. And the band, once again, carried the energy. And when he went into the chorus at the end, one more, it didn't feel repetitive. It felt earned. And I actually loved the arrangement, how they, added extra chorus at the end. Then Jin spoke to the audience. He said something like, I shouted 도전, challenge earlier, but I know that some of you weren't ready yet, so I'll give you 1 minute to get yourselves together. And then cue the chaos. For 1 minute, armies were scrambling to throw on like ponchos. They were kind of confused as to what they had to do, so they threw on like ponchos and laughing through it all. So I really loved that moment. At around 7:13 p.m., 구름과 떠나는 여행 with the clouds began, track number 3. So this one had big rock star energy, but there was a slight downside which kind of continued on throughout the concert, which was the smoke machines. Like, I was kind of fine with it, but a lot of K-ARMYs complained about it in the chat, and it was understandable because the smoke machines were going overboard. I'm not sure if you have felt the same way. So it made it hard to see Jin's face or entire body clearly. Like, fans in the chat were commenting on it throughout the concert, and some people guessed that it probably was because like they wanted to blow away all the insects and bugs, but who knows. Still, the sound and the atmosphere were on point. I love this track too. And then track number 4, 내게 닿을 때까지, until I reach you. So Jin's voice took center stage. Such a rock star. All right, and Jin spoke again for the officially for the first time at 7:20 p.m. So it was like a time for official Met. He said, "Let me introduce myself properly. I'm Jin of BTS. I've really been wanting to blow a hand kiss." So he did this. People kept asking me to do it during interviews, and I told them I'll do it at the concert. So I'm honored I finally get to do it now. And then the fans wanted one more time, and he said, if I do it again, it won't feel as special, but should I? Okay. And then he blew it again. Hand kiss again, since you want it. But he said this is kind of embarrassing. And then he added, when RUNSEOKJIN came to an end, I felt a bit of regret. So I wanted to take on a new challenge and really run towards you. Here, regret means 아쉽다. So he wanted something more, right? And that challenge turned into this concert or this tour. Starting today, I'll be meeting not only Korean armies, but fans overseas too. And I have to say, this might be the most exciting challenge yet. Do you feel that way too? And the armies all said yes. He says, every moment we spend together is a mission. So you got to be in it with me, okay? And then he wanted more from armies by saying, with this level of cheering though, not sure we're passing the mission just yet. Ready to step it up? And the army said yes. He goes, great. Along with all these fun missions, I've also prepared performances from the Echo album, which I know you've been loving. Any songs you're especially looking forward to? And Army says, 전부 다 or 모두 다, all of them. And he goes, wow, I thought you would shout out specific titles, but all of them. You'll be upset if I skip even one, huh? Alright then, when I shout run, 달려라, you should shout 석진. Let's try it together. And he teaches the gestures and motions. Right, so that was a really personal. I love that interactions between Jin and the audience there. At around 7:24 p.m., he performed "Don't Say You Love Me," track number 5 in the set list. For this one, Jin took a seat, and the band arrangement was especially beautiful here. I thought it was soft, moody, but also full, and the falsetto, Jin's falsetto, is really something ridiculously clean. I thought. During the live chat, K-ARMYs commented something like, armies in the venue must be feeling like they're dreaming right now. They must be super happy. 현장 아미분들 너무 행복하겠다. And then at around 7:27 p.m., there was a very super short VCR that played. And Jin returned with his grin, and then he did the gesture one more time. run, 달려라석진. He goes, I love hearing that. I've been wanting this, to spend time with you like this. And I'm so glad it didn't rain. Yeah, the weather forecast said that it might be raining in Goyang, but it ended up not, right? It's humid, sure, but seeing you all enjoying yourselves makes me happy. And he goes, because this is RUNSEOKJIN, I prepared a special mission. You know how I had tons of guests on the show, right? Well, tonight's special guest is someone I really like. It's all of you. Today's special guest, ARMY. You're my favorite people and also the most frequent guest. I should interview each of you, huh? And then the cheers grew louder, but he goes, but if I did that, we wouldn't get through the concert. And he laughed and explained that because so many armies were now part of the show, it was time for a new mission. And that was the telepathy game. 통해라 Army, Connect Army. And Jin laid out the rules with playful seriousness. Game rules were number 1, Army see a word on the LED screen, and only Army can see it, Jin cannot. And then after a countdown, 3, 2, 1, Army acts it out. No sounds allowed. Then Jin has 30 seconds to watch and guess what it is. And then lastly, 2 rounds total. And he goes, I'm so used to armies screaming, but can you be quiet for once? And then let's try it. 1, 2, 3, shh. And then the armies became dead quiet. And he was impressed by saying, wow, for a second I thought I was all alone on stage. Now, here's a catch. He goes, depending on how many questions you get right, my outfit for the next song changes. I don't know what the options are. So if there's something you want to see me wear, answer wisely. Meaning, figure out the number of questions that you want him to get right. And I wonder if he truly did not know, the outfits. But who knows? And what I'm reviewing is day 1 in Goyang concert. Day 2, he wore this, right? This was even funnier. So round 1 the question was, but before that, he raised his binoculars. I love this little touch. And he goes, I can see all of you, even way in the back, so give it your all. I love this detail. Round 1 was hamster for the word, 햄찌. Why hamster? Because this is a nickname for Jin, hamster. So, and then he uses binoculars in hand, and Jin scanned the crowd while armies acted out tiny hand motions and hamster-like moves. But he couldn't get it right. His answer was a cat, so it's wrong. And he goes, this is so classic RUNSEOKJIN. How was I supposed to guess right? Many of you did act like little hamsters. I could have had it. Round 2 was flying chair for the word. Why? Because flying chair was used in one of the episodes from RUNSEOKJIN. I think, according to this article, it was, episode number 5. And there were guests in it, including Yeonjun from TXT. I love this episode, actually. They play games from, classic, legendary Korean entertainment shows back in the day. And then he tried to guess it right. He goes, why is everyone jumping around? Why are you all bouncing? Wait, now people are holding chairs? Is this wrestling? He goes. His answer was a chair, which was technically wrong, but after seeing the answer himself, he goes, what? A flying chair? And then he laughed. But isn't a flying chair still a chair? And then he goes, 감독님, director, can we count that? And then they counted it as an answer. Correct, kinda. So, Jin asked the crowd what the ideal number of correct answers should be, and Army goes 1. And he goes, so we got 1. We could have gotten both. Oh well, let's see what I'm wearing next. I really don't know, he said. And he peeked backstage and came back looking stunned because it was a taekwondo uniform. And he cracked up. And then he goes, in RUNSEOKJIN, even changing clothes is a mission. I'll go backstage for 90 seconds and come back in this. Or should I just wear this outfit instead? And armies wanted to see him in taekwondo uniform. So he says, okay, while I change, say hello to the people next to you. Make a friend. Ready? And he goes, 도전 again. And when taekwondo uniform was decided, K-armies, here we go. I've included chat here. The viewer count at this point was 1.7 million, but then it grew to over 4 million in the end, I saw. So if you know the exact number, please let me know. And then, K-armies were laughing for the fact that he has to wear taekwondo, right? The fact that he's doing a concert wearing taekwondo uniform. And then the countdown began. I wonder if there were fans who actually said hello to each other to people sitting next to them. Anyways, so after the countdown, he returned in full taekwondo attire, looking both amused and a little shy. And he goes, 성공했어? Success? Alright, it's a success. Because I did it with ARMY, I cannot fail. My life is smooth sailing thanks to you, and yours is smooth sailing thanks to BTS. That was funny. K-ARMYs were impressed by how handsome he looks, even in taekwondo attire. He said, to be honest, I wasn't planning to wear this. Usually you want to look cool during a concert, but come on, this isn't cool, right? And then he pointed to the band. All right, let's get loud, sing along with me. And the track number 6 was Super Tuna. This was a fun song during a concert. Like somehow, I feel like the taekwondo uniform made the song even better. You know, Jin was literally bouncing across stage like a fish out of water. Like full on flopping, jumping, and having the time of his life. K-ARMYs were chatting like 팔딱팔딱, trying to describe the way he jumps. And the live band also brought the fun, you know. And when the chorus came around again, it was even better at the very end. The fact that they added one more chorus for the song as well. So it was like the peak chaos in the best possible way. Super 참치, super tuna. At around 7:42 p.m., there was another mission for ARMYs. So it was his time to speak again. It's kind of hilarious being 30 and wearing a taekwondo uniform on stage, he said. But I completed my mission, and now it's your turn. He introduced the next segment, which is the Spin the Wheel ARMY mission. We're gonna spin the wheel. Whatever song comes up, you will sing it. I'll be changing backstage while you handle this on your own, okay? Have fun. And then he spin the wheel and went backstage. And the wheel landed on I'll Be There. And then there was this like karaoke style lyric video, which I really appreciated. This was a good touch. And K-ARMYs in the chat loved it as well. Someone actually said that I wish I have succeeded in getting the tickets myself. And if you look at top right corner, like 0059, so if you go to karaoke in Korea, you will see the number of minutes or hours left until you have to get out, right? So that's like the service minute count or hour count. So I love the detail. So during this time, ARMYs actually nailed it. You know, the crowd sounded great, like harmonizing, staying on pitch, even doing like dynamics. You know, Jin must have heard it backstage because he came back pretty impressed. K-ARMYs were paying attention to the fact that time is passing on the top right corner. Now it's 57, right? Meaning 3 minutes have passed. And they said that ARMYs are super cute singing along. And here we go. The score. Perfect score. 100. Perfect singing skills. You are the best of the best. And Jin was like, yeah, so he came back on stage with a smile that was part proud and part shy. And you all sing so well. I was changing backstage and listening. You sounded amazing. So I thought maybe it's my turn to show you something I had been working on. And he explained that he recently started a new challenge. Learn to sing and play piano at the same time. Now, as I mentioned in my previous video, Jin has played piano in public before. He did it during like live streaming, and also he played during a festival also. And I've also heard that he played piano in a concert as well. But this time, it's his first time doing this during his solo concert, right? He said, it's been only a little over a month, so I might mess up a bit, but please see it as cute. I might not be perfect, just a little 애교. And do you know this song? Let's go. 도전. And K-ARMYs were excited about the fact that he's playing the piano. The track that he performed was I Will Come to You, 그리움에, track number 7 on the set list, performed at around 7:48 p.m. So Jin sat down at the piano, and with no sheet music in sight, he began to play and sing. His touch on the keys was gentle but confident. You could feel how hard he had practiced. And the BTS members commented on this during their Weverse Live, right? The fact that they were super impressed. Suga was especially impressed. And then Jungkook asked him whether this was actually live. He thought that this might have been like a hand sync, but yeah, it was Jin playing this live. In fact, he was so nervous that he prayed before coming on stage for the piano performances, right? And thankfully, he had not made any mistakes during concert yet. So hopefully that continues on throughout the tour. Live comments. Singing while playing piano is so hard. Wait, he learned this in just 1 month? Someone said. And the final falsetto. Wow. Yeah. I mean, I mentioned this before. His falsetto was clean during this concert. It was super heartfelt and deeply human. Next track number 8 was Abyss. He went straight into another one. During 그리움에, I Will Come to You, it was his solo. No band or instruments in the background. But then for the second track, piano performance second track, Abyss, the band played along with him, right? And he opened with the piano intro and began to sing Abyss, which is a song he originally released on SoundCloud back in 2020. And it has an incredible story behind it, which I talked about in the now taken down video. But if it's re-uploaded, go check it out if you do not know about it. And this time he was playing live, singing to the beat, and he was visibly sweating under the lights. You could see the nerves in his body, but not in his voice. It was quite stable, and ARMYs were just praising how good he was. Yeah, this was Abyss. There we go. There you go. People, some K-ARMYs commented that they were crying while listening to this. Someone said, I should have been there. I should have succeeded in getting my tickets. And then Jin commented afterwards, there was a brand new challenge I prepared for the RUNSEOKJIN EP tour. I was really nervous. The first song, the band couldn't help me at all because it was his solo. The second one, they tried. My hands were shaking, my legs were shaking, but was it okay? And ARMYs all said yes. Then next time, I will surprise you again, a secret challenge next time with no warning. I will keep working hard. So we'll have to see what kinds of new, fresh challenges he'll be preparing for in the future. And then he grinned, and he said, I saw you all singing earlier, and honestly, if I retire, you could debut as singers instead. So he's referring to the little karaoke session with the ARMYs, right? And ARMY says no, right? They don't want to hear about retirement at all. Oh, that's not it? He said. Good, I wanted to hear that response. Today's been just one fun mission after another, right? Let's keep the momentum going. I'm gonna take a sip of water. You should too. We have still got songs to sing. And when I count to 3, yell with me. And the 1, 2, 3, he goes, 도전. I love how he keeps repeating that phrase throughout this concert. And RM loved that as well, right? I mean, he was just laughing whenever Jin said that, according to, who was it? Was it V? Or was it J? Oh, it was J-Hope, who attended day 1 with RM and V. So next song, track number 9 was Background, and this track kept the echo momentum going strong. Jin's voice cut through cleanly, and the live band added a deeper layer of texture. It's one of those songs that just hits differently live. And here, I just noticed that K-ARMYs wrote 도전 each time Jin said the word. Live comments were full of praise. Echo is such a masterpiece. Every song on this album is so good. 너무 좋아. And then some people also commented on the smoke machine as well, that they could not see his face clearly. But yeah. So that was background. Next track was Another Level. I love this track. Now, this was like a statement stage. Jin climbed to a raised platform, and as the beat kicked in, a drone circled around him for a wide aerial shot, and lasers like beamed in sync with the rhythm, and his gaze was sharp enough to impress anybody. I love this moment. I want to see live. I want to feel how this moment will play out in live. And the live comments were like, "What's with that look in your eyes, Seokjin? Stage production is insane." And the final outro drove it home. Personally, there was a heavy electric guitar crescendo that made the whole performance feel like a grand finale, even though the night was still far from over, right? After Another Level, another meant, and it was time for another game. So Jin came down from the rockstar high of Another Level and shifted back into MC mode, which for him means more missions. So he goes, "It's been a while since I rocked out like that for Taisa concert, right? How was it?" And then he was like, "Yep, there was rock. Now time for our next challenge. And of course, I need ARMY with me. I just can't leave you all alone when you're clearly so full of energy. Actually, at this concert, ARMYs don't get a break. You'll be moving more than me. The next mission is called Sing Along Game, Sing ARMY. 불러라 ARMY. This time, you will sing. I'll listen, and I have to guess which song it is. Sounds familiar? Unlike the earlier game, this one lets you shout and sing as loud as you want." And then something ominous appeared, which is a metal tray hanging from above. And he goes, "You want to see me get smacked by this, don't you?" And some ARMY said yes, and some ARMY said no. And he went something like, "That sounded like a mix of yes and no." And he said, "Recognize this tray?" And we have seen this tray before because they used it on RUNSEOKJIN, one of the RUNSEOKJIN episodes before, and they even used it on Run BTS episode. It's actually episode number 152. So go check it out if you're interested. In Korea, this is a well-known game. Originated from, I think, a TV show called Happy Together? 쟁반 노래방? I have to check it again. Anyway, and then he gestured to someone familiar holding the string. And he said, "Look who's back, our RUNSEOKJIN director. I told him if I'm gonna get hit, it has to be by someone I trust." And then he introduces game rules, and he tried to speak English a bit here. He said, "Show LED, and then check the song name." Okay, that's enough English. That's enough English for today. So official rules were: ARMY sees the song title on the screen, Jin doesn't. After the countdown, ARMY sings the lyrics out loud. Jin listens, yells challenge, and guesses the song. If it's right, the original track plays. If it's wrong, tray drops. Right? And he says, "Let's skip the practice. I trust you, and let's go." So, song number one, round number one, was Running Wild. And at first, Jin looked completely lost. Then he eventually caught the rhythm. And I don't know, I love ARMYs singing along in this part. And then when the pitch goes super high in the middle, their voice suddenly got dropped. And Jin commented on that by saying, "Is the pitch super high in the song? You all sounded like your voices cracked in half during the chorus." But he eventually got the answer right. I love him like laughing. So he got it right. Running Wild, it was correct. He even sang along once he got it. And he goes, "Okay, this time, don't give up just because the pitch goes up. Thanks for not dropping the tray on me." And then people are laughing in the live comments, saying Seokjin is out there training ARMYs like a vocal boot camp. 아미들 강하게 키우는 석진이. He goes, "Shall we go on to the second question? Are you guys having fun? Okay, good. It's working. I actually spent the whole day planning this segment with our director. We worked on it for what, like 10 days, just to make sure it didn't get boring. 감독님, director, you did a great job. And he gave like a thumbs up. Next round was 오늘의 나에게, to me, today. And then the army sang along. And he said, honestly, listening to these songs in reverse like this is fun. It's like I had become a fan of armies. Right? And he almost said the wrong song title, but yeah, he got it right. And then the last round was 고민보다 고, BTS group song, right? And here he understood, right? But he wanted to show armies how he gets smacked by the tray, so he intentionally got it wrong, right? Something like 고민보다 stop. He said, I got a hit yesterday, it hurt, and to the director, so he intentionally got it wrong, so the director dropped the tray, but it didn't hurt at all, so he said, you need to hit harder. What are you doing? 감독님. So he got smacked again and laughed his way through it. So it was classic Jin. He's a true entertainer. He wants to show more to the armies. Final ment before the next set. He says, hey members, are you watching this? Did any of you come today? And then he got a little more sincere. The reason I set up this mission is because the next few songs need your voices too. You have sung 3 songs already. Your throats are warmed up, right? You're ready to sing with me? To keep the show moving, I'm just gonna change jacket up here. Don't look. And then he changed his attire, wore a jacket on stage. Yeah, he literally just turned around and switched jackets on stage. And he goes something like, so that arm workout I did recently, worth it? Yeah, armies were like screaming at this point. Next track was Loser, track number 11, featuring 최애나. And I really appreciated the fact that the screen displayed the lyrics for this one, which made it even easier for armies to sing along. And they did, especially during the chorus. And Jin absolutely nailed the extended note on like a loser, that part, and it drew cheers from the stadium. And about halfway through the song, 최애나 stepped onto the stage to join him, and their duet felt more natural and close than in a previous performance they did for YouTube content. And it was something that fans in the chat picked up on right away. Yep. On day 2, Red Velvet Wendy showed up, right? And I heard that was incredible as well. And after that, Jin thanked Yena for coming. He said, I know you're busy. Thank you for making time to be here. And Yena replied, I came the moment you called. It was such an honor to be invited by you, 선배님. I'm currently preparing for my comeback. It's happening at the end of July, so please look forward to it. And Jin, being a gracious host, added, since you're here, why don't you say a final goodbye to armies? Yena said, I never imagined I would get to sing in front of ARMY. It's such an honor. I hope you will continue to support my future activities too. And then Jin said, thank you. Take care on your way out. That way, please. And just like that, she left the stage after one song. And then Jin turned back to the audience saying, all right, now that we have wrapped up the guest appearance, let's get back into it. This next part was supposed to flow straight through, but the guest section gave us a short pause. No worries, let's jump right in. And then it goes 1, 2, 3, challenge, 도전 again. And track number 12, rope it. Oh my goodness. So he wore a cap and he was swinging his microphone with casual confidence. This was one of the highlights during this concert. It was hot, and at one point he grabbed like a megaphone here, right, and he shouted like, let's scream loud enough to shake all of Goyang city. And the energy hit a new peak here, and the vibe of the stage was different from anything before. Somebody said, the more I listen, the more I love the song. And yeah, Rope It might just be one of his best live moments yet. It's visually, vocally, and vibe-wise, it was absolutely incredible. And he owned it. Yep. And then track number 13, Dynamite. So here comes a series of BTS group songs. So Jim came out with a grin and a shout, "ARMY, stand up." And he only performed the latter half of the song, but honestly, just hearing Dynamite live again was enough to light up the crowd, right? And people were screaming in the chat as well, because it felt like a welcome throwback. Jin goes, "You all know this song, right?" And yes, we do. And we have missed it so much. Next track was Butter. And somehow, even without the rest of BTS on stage, it didn't feel like anything was missing. Jin filled the space effortlessly with his voice, his presence, his rhythm. There was no emptiness, just energy. Somebody said, "You're killing it with your voice," in the chat. Classic hand kiss. And the next track was Microcosmos, track number 15. And this was the emotional gut punch, personally. Like, Jin started singing and then called out mid-song, "Jimin, aren't you here? Sing a bit for me, I'm dying up here." Then almost in the same breath, his tone softened by saying, "But really, ARMY, I missed you. Seeing you like this, it means everything. 우리 ARMY," he said. That line, "우리 ARMY," our army, hit like a wave, And by the time he reached the line, "Shine, dream, smile," that part, I felt like it was hard not to tear up if you were actually in the audience. And somebody said for the third time or for the fourth time that I should have been there. I should have been there. I should have succeeded in getting my ticket. And yeah, at this point, you could feel that this wasn't just a concert anymore. It was something shared, personal, between BTS and ARMYs. Next track was Spring Day, track number 16. And the emotion carried straight into this track, Like later on, Jin dropped to his knees during the bridge, singing with like intensity here. Do I not have the screen capture here? Okay, but yeah, Jin knelt down on stage. And even after the song ended, ARMYs kept the final the chorus going, right? Filling the stadium with their voices. And live comments, there were some live comments that captured the mood perfectly. Like, the stage looks so full. Why am I suddenly crying? Seokjin really missed ARMY singing, right? And yeah, this part of the song concert was soft and heavy all at once. It was a reminder that what BTS songs mean when they're sung with ARMY, even if it's just one voice on stage. After Spring Day, as the emotional weight of the last few songs settled in, Jin stood center stage and spoke from the heart. He said, "I was honestly worried about performing these songs without the other members, but ARMY, you sang with me. You really filled the stage and made up for their absence." And he paused, looking around. "Being up here alone didn't feel lonely, and that's because of you. Thank you." And then he suddenly scanned the crowd and he says, "Where's J-Hope? Is he here? I heard he came." And he looked at the screen. "Oh, there he is. Hobi, where are you? Wanna sing a song? 노래 하나 할래?" And from the audience, J-Hope mouthed back with a grin, saying, "무슨 노래? What song?" And people laughed. "Hobi, who else came with you?" he asked. And J-Hope gestured again. "Namjoon and Taehyung." And she said, "Our leader RM." But RM was nowhere to be seen, right? So Jin said, "I guess Namjoon's too shy to stand up. That's fine. He just got discharged, so I'll give him a pass." Then he jokingly said, "But just so you know, I performed the day after I was discharged. And yes, he had a whole fan meeting with ARMYs. And he even performed like multiple songs, including Super Tuna, right? And the astronauts, I remember." So the crowd was erupted with like laughter and cheers. Seriously though, He goes, "Thank you, HYBE, and to all of our members who came tonight. I really hope the day comes soon when we can sing these songs together on stage." And then Jin's tone shifted once again, said, "We're coming to the final moments of the concert now. I know it went by so fast, but it's not over just yet." And he leaned in, saying, "To complete the final mission, you have to sing this one with me. I'm counting on you to see it through to the end." Then he said, "도전," one more time, challenge. And just like that, the final act began. But yeah, I love how he doesn't forget to say 도전 before performing each song. So track number 17 was The Astronaut, performed at around 8:32 p.m. People said in live chat, "There's not one skip in this set list. He sings well, looks good, loves ARMY like crazy. Kim Seok-jin really has it all," he said. And I love how, like, in the final chorus, Jin lay down on stage, and he was gazing up at the sky as fireworks exploded above him. And yeah, the visual was cinematic, like the kind of moments fans would replay in their minds for years. And people were praising he's such a professional, and saying how well he performs and sings live, even laying down on the stage. And it's like sweating crazy though. Yeah. Next track was Nothing Without Your Love, track number 18, I feel like. And before the song began, he said softly, "I've been saving this song just for today to sing it with ARMY." And people went crazy in the live chat. "The atmosphere is unreal. I wish I were there. The set list is just perfect," they said. And every time Jin asked, like, "Singing with me, ARMY," it didn't feel like a prompt. He said, "ARMY 다 같이," and it felt like a heartfelt plea. And ARMY answered 100% by singing along so well. And then after this, yeah, it's such a beautiful moment. He was singing his heart out. People commented on, the atmosphere and the mood. And after this, before the final encore, there was a short VCR montage played, featuring unforgettable moments from the RUNSEOKJIN content. There were like hilarious missions to, multiple moments. It reminded everyone how far they have come with Jin. And K-ARMYs agreed in the live chat by saying he really didn't stop running. And someone said, "We know how much effort Jin put in." Yup. Yeah, I really loved this episode where he learned how to act. Yep. And he came back for an encore with the track Epiphany. So track number 19. And this was released in 2018 as part of BTS Love Yourself Answer album. And this was a moment that many have been waiting for. And the live comments poured in at this moment. My favorite song, I'm Crying. It's the same voice from 2018. I cannot believe I'm hearing this live in 2025, someone said. This song made me fall for BTS. Yeah, and someone commented how his mic, he keeps switching mic colors. So here, he's using a green microphone. And they said they love the detail. Yeah. And I love this comment who said, "I learned to love myself through this song. 에피파니로 저를 사랑하게 됐어요." Yeah. And the high note at the end was crazy. He hit it flawlessly. Strong and full of emotion. So yeah, this wasn't just a throwback. It was a reminder of how much he has grown. The same voice from 2018, but how much he's still the same, but only stronger. After the song ended, he delivered like a long comment. He said, "It's been so long since I last sang that song. Do you guys know Epiphany? It's been years. How do you still remember it? I prepared it because I thought some of you might want to hear it again. Did you like it?" And of course, the crowd cheers were loud and immediate. He said, "This concert came together kind of suddenly. I think it was 4 months ago. After RUNSEOKJIN ended, I was still feeling a little unsatisfied, so I kind of half joked with the director, should he try something? And then that turned into this. Honestly, it wasn't easy. Concerts usually take 10 months or longer to a year to plan, right? But because I changed my mind last minute, everyone had to scramble to make it happen. So I want to say thank you, and I'm also kind of sorry. I know it was hard." So he was speaking to the staff and the company. He actually said thank you to HYBE, to his company, for making this happen. And he said, "I'm so grateful to my company for pulling this off, and most of all to ARMY. Without you, none of this would have happened." This concert was different, huh? No fancy VCR to start. I just walked out and yelled, "도전." That was my idea. I wanted to do it differently. Something fun. And when I brought it up, the stage director was like, "That's not gonna work, Jin," but I thought it would be hilarious. If the lighting had been dimmer, the mood would have hit harder, but it was so bright. And there I was shouting mission or 도전 challenge with all of you cheering. So yeah, it got darker along the way, but in the beginning it was kind of bright. So it was kind of 아쉬워 about that. And he said, "I was really involved in the planning this time. Tried to make it light, not too serious. Rory. But it turns out, once you're on stage, it's hard not to be serious." So he said that he didn't want to be silly when it comes to music, or he didn't want to be too light. And then he paused and continued on. It was pretty different from HYBE's concert, right? He was amazing, really cool. He planned and structured the whole thing himself too. Of course, I'm cool too, I know that. But HYBE, much respect to you if you're still here. So that's it for RUNJIN. Well, one more show left in Korea tomorrow. Anyone coming again? And day 2, he killed it with ARMYs. I've seen some footage. And as I expected, the mood was still strong, yet there were details that were different. So like I said, each concert would feel different for this tour. And then he pulled out his phone and began filming the crowd. And then he said, "You will keep joining me in these missions, right? I'll keep doing my best to stay by your side too." Now, this really is the last song. And even though it's my solo song, it's never started with my voice before, I would love for one of you to kick it off. So he looked around and picked a fan and handed over the first line. Ooh, that part. The singing wasn't perfect, but it was heartfelt and adorable. So yeah, shout out to that fan who sang the first line, and that made it perfect. So Jin stepped forward and held his hand out to the crowd for this song, exchanging high fives with the ARMYs in the front rows. The gesture was pretty intimate, and it's a reminder that no matter the size of the venue, this concert was about connection. Live chat, people said, "This song always heals me," one fan wrote in the live chat, and someone said, "When he says, all together ARMY, it feels so genuine. 다 같이 ARMY." You can really feel how much more comfortable he is on stage compared to last year. Okay, so compared to when he first got out of the military, when he first had a fan meeting, now he feels more comfortable and more confident. And such transition will happen to other members who just got discharged from the military as well, right? So yeah, that will be good to observe. Yeah, so there was a quiet confidence in him. He wasn't rushing, he wasn't nervous. Jin was just present, and ARMY could feel it. And then after that, there was an introduction session for band members. So before moving into the final stretch, Jin took a moment to spotlight the incredible band behind him. So, yeah, I always appreciate when artists do this because to make a concert happen, especially a high quality concert, a lot of people are involved, right? Not only the band members, but also the staff. So it's important to spotlight the people who made this whole thing possible. So, and then after that, really the last song, which was 오늘의 나에게, To Me Today. So the track number 21. He said, this is really the last one. It's called To Me Today, and I'm singing it for today's ARMY. 오늘의 아미에게. And people are crying in the live chat saying, I'm so glad that I am ARMY. The atmosphere is unreal. 분위기 너무 좋다. It's like he created an entirely new concert format and it's beautiful. 콘서트 공연 포맷을 새로 만든 느낌인데 너무 좋다. Yeah, and he, until the very end, he performed with ARMYs. Yeah, the comments kept rolling in. And the fireworks, beautiful. Someone said it feels like a college festival or a rock festival. Such a worldwide handsome man, someone said. Somebody said, I'm so happy. There we go. As final note faded out, Jin stood center stage, catching his breath, and he was holding the moment. And he said, I had such a fun and happy time today. RUNSEOKJIN will keep going until the day I meet every single ARMY, he said. Then one last time, he raised his arm and led the chant, 달려라석진. Thank you so much for joining the tour. He added, RUNSEOKJIN, and then bye-bye. I'm wiped out. Bye-bye. Get home safe, everyone. Bye. And the live chat was still pouring in. From variety show to concert planner, Jin really did it all. That was beautiful, someone said. He's not just an idol, he's a genuine entertainer. And I absolutely agree with the comments. At the very end of the concert, there was a final VCR with Jin's reflections. The staff asked him a series of questions such as, why did you start Run Jin? And he said, I started RUNSEOKJIN because all the BTS members were off in the military, including me. And I thought at the very least, ARMY might feel bored or lonely for the next 6 months after Jin got discharged. So I wanted to give you something to enjoy in the meantime. Question number 2, why didn't you stop RUNSEOKJIN? Even though it was hard. He said, honestly, RUNSEOKJIN was a really exhausting variety project, but I kept going because I believed, even if it was hard for me, if it could bring you joy, then it was worth it. Question number 3, any final words to the ARMY who joined you for the concert? He said, I used to wonder what it would be like to film RUNSEOKJIN with fans in person. And now, through this tour, we kind of made that happen. Thank you so much for being part of it. I'll keep coming back with even better, more fun content to share with you. The last question. Let's shout out the signature chant one last time. He said, okay everyone, let's do the RUNSEOKJIN chant one more time. When I say 달려라, you say 석진. And that was the very end. With this message, RUNSEOKJIN will be running again tomorrow in Goyang. So yeah, that was beautiful. A lot of ARMYs weren't able to leave even after the concert ended. They were writing comments live time. I guess at the very end, the final count was over 4 million. So I wonder if that's actual number of online audiences. 4.2666685 million people. Yeah, 4.37 million. I wonder if you live streamed and then left in the middle and came back, would that count as like multiple entries? Who knows? If you know the answer, please let me know. So final thoughts. Like I said in my previous video, I don't think I've ever been to a concert that kept the energy like so high from start to finish without a single dip in momentum. Like there were no VCR breaks before the encore. Yeah, it never felt tiring or repetitive. And even the outfit changes happened on stage, keeping the flow completely unbroken and making everything feel intentional and alive. And I already knew Jin was a natural entertainer, especially after watching, Kian's bizarre BRB, right? But this concert really sealed it. He just knows what's funny and what's not, and what works in a live setting. And because of that, the entire show felt like a perfectly tuned balance between variety show and heartfelt concert, And I said, if J-Hope's solo concert, Hope on the Stage, hit with overwhelming like power and precision, Jin's was all about like comfort, laughter, and shared joy. So yeah, I felt like healing through entertainment. It was funny, it was emotional, and it was just totally Jin. So I cannot wait to see what kind of challenge he throws at us, next. So that's it for the full review of Jin's Goyang concert. Like I said in the very beginning, Jin, the Japan leg officially kicks off today, July 5th. And then I heard that there's a special live viewing schedule for the Osaka Kyocera Dome show on July 12th, like a real-time cinema broadcast for fans who couldn't be there in person. And there will also be a Weverse live session as well. So if you're interested, go check it out. So yeah, Chiba concert will happen on July 5th, today and tomorrow, July 5th and July 6th. And Osaka Kyocera Dome concert will be happening on July 12th and 13th. Online live streaming ticket information. So yeah, there we go. And apparently, some of you do not know how to buy a ticket through Weverse. So let me teach you very briefly. So if you go to BTS community on Weverse, you see this top right shop button, right? You click on it, and then something like this will show up. You click live for the products, live category. And then you see this. So if you, what is it? Yeah, so this on the left, this is for membership. On the right, this is for general audience. So you click on it, and then you click buy or purchase. And then, yeah, you pay with your credit card, whatever. And then you get to view it through Weverse at home comfortably. Even though it wouldn't be able to match the energy and the atmosphere if you were to attend in person, I still enjoyed it. Okay. All right. So, and just one last thing before you go. Like I said, if you watched my last video before it got taken down, or if you believe that fan-made content like this should be allowed to exist, I really appreciate it if you could take a minute to send an email. Like I said, the template and email address are in the description, so it might seem small, but even one message can make a difference, I feel like. So, thanks for watching, and let's keep cheering on Jin together, wherever this tour goes next. I know some of you have already bought tickets for his concerts in other regions, including in the States and in Europe, like London and Amsterdam. So have fun. I'm super excited and happy and jealous for you. All right? Feel free to leave comments. And if you do so, as always, let's stay positive, respectful, and classy. Peace and love. Bye-bye.